Owatonna football coach Jeff Williams. Elk River got the win in the semifinals yesterday at U.S. Bank Stadium, 19-7. But Owatonna's defense, Jeff, certainly made Elk River work for it. It was a great defensive game.
It really was. I said to multiple media outlets after the game, and if you would have told me a week ago that we'd hold Elk River to 19 points, I felt pretty good about our chances to win. And our defense continually stepped up. We put them into some difficult situations, and with the turnovers that we had, and our kids continually, stepped up. Coach Kirk and the defensive staff dialed up a great game plan. Our kids executed it. They got good practice all week because our scout team did a phenomenal job of simulating what Elk River did, and our kids were prepared for it. And they did a super job there. We just couldn't do enough offensively in order to find a way to get a lead in the second half. Because our defense basically shut them down in the second half, and we just couldn't find a way to get any traction offensively and find a way to get a lead.
What is it about the Elk River defense that made that difficult to get Owatonna's offense on a roll?
Well, obviously their D-line and their linebackers are very aggressive. They made the run game pretty difficult. Thought we had a good game plan to spread the front a little bit and get Jason Williamson running up the middle with some jet sweeps, threatening the perimeter. And that portion of the game plan, I thought we executed very well. Jason had a nice night running the game. Did a good job of running that little read option that we, had dialed up for him. And, I thought that was very effective. We had some play-action passes coming off of that where we were hoping to get some receivers open in space, and we did. We'd run the jet sweep action, and the receivers would come off clean. And either we missed the receiver or we hit the receiver and the receiver dropped it. Our passing game, I think we were 8 of 23, which wasn't good enough for us to sustain drives and move chains and take advantage of their aggressiveness against our run. And so that was a little bit disappointing. I figured we'd have to have a ball control passing attack in order to move the ball, because their line and their linebackers are so good. And we just kind of struggled in that regard. That passing game overall just wasn't where it had been, where we needed it to be. And, hats off to them. I thought their cover guys were very good. They did catch balls underneath. They did a good job of rallying up. We weren't able to really break anything big. They're a solid football team. You don't see a bad football team at this time of the year. When you're in the Final Four, you see nothing but good football teams, and in order to win, you've got to execute, especially in some critical situations. And, we just didn't in a couple of those situations, and that's the game of football.
Interesting to see just some of the different looks on offense for Owatonna with those really wide splits and just different guys getting their hands on the ball. I think Reichley took a handoff on a jet sweep, and I don't know if he's done that this season. So just some different looks on offense to try and find a way to get a game going.
Yeah, in fact, on Monday we had to actually teach Alex how to take a handoff because he's never been a running back at any level. Noah Budak had come up as a tailback, so it was a little bit more natural for him, and we do periodically run him on jet sweeps. But it's what you kind of have to do to dial a few things up that a defense hasn't seen. We exchanged 2 tapes in advance of each game in the state playoffs, but I'm guessing that Elk River had a little bit more intel on us than that. And so it becomes important to show them some things that they haven't prepared for, that they haven't seen, to force them to make some adjustments. And then, like I say, we were hopeful that we had some play-action passes that would come off of that series that we just weren't really able to execute. But, I thought we had a good game plan going in. And, our kids fought hard, and we played pretty well all the way around. But Elk River is a very, very fine football team.
There were a couple of controversial plays. The apparent knee down by Gibbous on a hit by DeHonick on the final touchdown of the first half. Many comments on that fortunate or unfortunately we got to see on the video replay board.
Yeah, and that is one of the difficult things is, the video replay is up there for everyone to see. We've got a little sideline instant replay system that we're able to utilize to see what happens on certain plays, see if we can make some blocking adjustments. So, we are used to, seeing those kinds of things, and I think it does put more pressure on officials now, where we have sideline instant replay, and when you play in U.S. Bank Stadium or the Metrodome, you do have replays, but, replay is not in effect in high school football. Ultimately, probably never will be, just because it's too costly, to ever do something like that. But, plays are going to go against you, and we talk to kids continually about, being tenacious in the face of adversity and stepping up and making the next play. And I thought our kids did that. They brushed off balls went against them. We thought maybe we had a roughing the punter. When River Kid came up the middle and hit Derek Halstead after the punt, we were told that it wasn't enough to warrant the penalty, and then we turned around and get a roughing the punter on our own. Thought our defense had gotten off the field, and it was our ball at midfield. And all of a sudden, Elk River gets the ball back and keeps the ball out of our offense's hands. So, that's going to happen at every level. Officials are going to make calls that we don't agree with, or that, put us into adverse circumstances. And all we can ask is that our kids respond in a positive way. And I thought they did that. I know that they did that. Our tenor on the sideline was, let's go out and play the next play, and our kids did that.